Now, that's a great train because you're heading to the Yankee Stadium, but you pass the X Games while you're on your way. That's pretty cool. So 2 for 1 on this Wednesday afternoon matinee as Kia Motors presents the Wednesday Game of the Week. Today, it's defending world champion New York Yankees against the Toronto Blue Jays in the final game of a 3-game set from Yankee Stadium in the Bronx. Hello, everybody, and welcome to Yankees Baseball. Along with Al Leiter, I'm Michael Kay. Now, the Yankees are not playing great baseball right now. Nothing to be alarmed about. Every team goes through it. Tampa Bay's gone through it. Boston's gone through it. All the teams in first place have gone through it. Yankees right now, Al, they're in the middle of one of those stretches.
They are. You know, and if you look at these numbers, they face good pitching. And I don't want to use any alibis here, but the Tampa Bay staff, number 1 in ERA, number 1 in strikeouts. Toronto, second in the league in strikeouts. This is tough teams to face. We saw 2 good starting pitchers during the series. You're right, Michael. They lost 3 in a row. They've done it earlier in the year. They'll get out of this.
All right, let's look at today's New York Lottery pitching matchup. And it's a pretty good pitching matchup. Sean Markham's had a good year for the Blue Jays. 10-4, 3.24. Phil Hughes for the Yankees, 12-4, 4.07. Last time out against Tampa Bay, he happened to pitch very well.
He did. Unfortunately for Phil Hughes, he was matched up. They had a 2-0 lead in this ball game. Very aggressive. Look, Phil Hughes early in this season was excellent. All-star. Has had some troubles June and July. I think it's a matter of him being aggressive in the zone. But here, Matt Joyce in the 6th inning, a 3-run homer that cost him and the Yankees a 3-2 loss. But I like to see Phil Hughes use his changeup more early in the game. He has been very effective, especially in that last game outside of Matt Joyce's home run.
Last 2 starts, not too bad against Kansas City. Picked up a win in that tough loss against Tampa Bay. He's not lost 2 straight decisions this season. He'd like some offensive help from Mark Teixeira, and Mark Teixeira has been on fire. The month of July now going into August. We'll take a close look at that next on segment 2 right here on Yes. From first pitch, Yankees and the Blue Jays, game 3 of this 3-game set. That's Al Leiter. I'm Michael Kay. Yankee offense kind of stalled yesterday against Ricky Romero, but 1 strike, and that was by Mark Teixeira. He had an unbelievable shot in the first inning, and Al, he's been red hot of late.
He has, Michael, and I'll tell you, in the first inning against a tough pitcher, Ricky Romero ended up settling down, but in the first inning, Derek Jeter walked his bomb in left field, a hanging changeup. You talk about how hot he's been. In July, he's hitting .321, 30 RBIs, and 10 home runs. Let's see if Mark Teixeira can carry that streak against Sean Markham, the Toronto Blue Jays starting pitcher tonight.
And the slugging percentage is .688 as well, and he has done an unbelievable job after that rough start the first couple of months. His numbers now really amongst the league leaders except for batting average. Well, Phil Hughes would love to have some offensive support in this game. Phil Hughes will take them out to try to salvage the final game of this 3-game set. Lineups, first pitch, baseball next. brought to you in part by Kia Motors. To learn more, visit kia.com. By McDonald's. Head to McDonald's for a refreshing large sweet tea on the dollar menu. Price and participation may vary. And by Cabot Wood Stains. Our performance is legendary. Day baseball, a little Wednesday matinee here at Yankee Stadium. Crowd still filing in. Yankees have taken the field. Phil Hughes taking his warm-ups, and we're going to take a look at the Blue Jays starting lineup, which is presented by our very good friends at Lexus. The Blue Jays, 56 and 51, they're just in the wrong division. They lead off their left fielder, Travis Snyder. Aaron Hill in second base will bat second. Batting third, playing right field, Major League's home run leader, Jose Bautista, with 33 bombs. Vernon Wells, 8-game hitting streak, he's in center. Adam Lynn, the DH, will bat fifth. Batting sixth and catching, John Buck. Lyle Overbase at first base, he'll bat seventh. Batting eighth and playing third base, Edwin Encarnacion. And John McDonald, the shortstop, will bat ninth.
Phil Hughes on the mound, 24 years old. He'll be making his 20th start against his potent offensive home run lineup that the Blue Jays put out there. You see his season started off very strong, hasn't been as consistent of late. 109 hits to 107 third innings. Let's take a look at the pitcher's scouting report. No free passes. 8-0 with a 2.62 and 9 starts in which he has 1 walk or less. We'll watch his control. Loves the sunshine. Here we are, day game. His last 6 decisions, that goes back to last year. He's won every one of them. And don't forget the changeup. I know, love his fastball. He's got a great breaking ball. See early in this game if he uses his changeup as a part of his repertoire as opposed to it being an emergency pitch.
Travis Snyder is ready. So is Phil Hughes. So are we. Let's do it. Here at Yankee Stadium in the Bronx. The young right-hander deals, it's fouled off, and we are underway. A little bit overcast above the stadium right now. Well, Jorge Posada off to a painful start. Right off the left shoulder. And the umpire now just giving Posada some time to shake the pain out of there.
First pitch of the game.
He said, let's go. Telling Tim McClellan, the veteran umpire, who's giving him a couple more seconds after he said, let's go. Francisco Cervelli caught last night's game, but Posada replaced him late. And the veteran is ready. The 0-1. Foul back. 0-2. Snyder, 25 for his last 65. Young hitter. He hit a home run yesterday that we never thought was going to leave the ballpark. Never thought it would make the warning track, but it got into the Yankee bullpen in right center field.
Yeah, he showed really terrific power. This is a young player that's come up and shows power to hit out of any ballpark. And already, as aggressive as the Blue Jay hitters were last night against Dustin Mosley, I just think that this is a situation where Phil Hughes and certainly Posada recognize that. We're seeing already 3 pitches into the game, and you having a team that's not afraid to swing from the on-deck circle.
Swing and a miss. Snyder down on strikes. Let's take a look at the Yankees defense behind Phil Hughes. It's brought to you by Mercedes. In the outfield, you've got Gardner, Granderson, and Swisher. That's left to right. Infield, Arod, Jeter, Cano, and Teixeira, third to first. Posada's behind the plate, and Phil Hughes is on the mound. Now, talk about an aggressive team. This stat will back it up. The Blue Jay batters are averaging 3.72 pitches per plate appearance this season. Now, that's the 3rd lowest in the American League, ahead of the Orioles and the Royals. Now, what's significant about that, the Orioles and the Royals are bad teams. The Blue Jays are over 500. That's just the way they operate. They're not patient, and they want to jump on the first pitch that they think they could drive, and that's their modus operandi.
And that you'll see that with aggressive teams that try to hit the ball out of the ballpark. Their batting average for the league, they're 12th out of 14 in the American League. So that's a combination that you'll see. Lower batting average, and there's been guys that have struggled. This is one of them here. Aaron Hill has had a good series. There you see the plate appearances Mike's talking about. But last year, Aaron Hill, 36 home runs, 108 RBI.
Now, last night, 24 of the first 29 Blue Jay at-bats consisted of 3 pitches or fewer. And that's what they're about. The 2-1. Let's look at the game time weather conditions presented by Bigelow Tea. 85 degrees, humidity is high, wind not much, 8 miles per hour. The forecast is hot and humid and partly cloudy.
humid. Very humid. Sticky. Get those drinks going.
The 2-2. Foul back. Phil Hughes, a good guy to have on the mound after a New York loss, and the Yankees have had 3 in a row. Hughes is 7-0 in 9 starts after a game that the Yankees have lost. The 2-2. Fouled away.
Well, here, Phil Hughes keeping the ball in the ballpark at Yankee Stadium. Of his 16 home runs, 15 of them have been here at the stadium. And during this series, talking about the Blue Jays, they 167 home runs. Clearly the most in baseball.
Line to left field, giving chase Gardner, and he makes the play. So Hill hit it hard, but Gardner got a good jump to haul it in.
Hard, hot smash here. Looked like a little hanging breaking ball. Gardner could make up an awful lot of ground with the speed that he has, making that catch easily. I said clearly the Blue Jays are leading baseball. They lead the Red Sox in home runs, 26 more than Boston.
Here's Jose Bautista. Good breaking ball for a strike.
Boy, Dustin Mosley last night, I thought the approach was excellent against Bautista, who leads major leagues in home runs, 33 home runs. Stay away. This is a pull hitter that likes to get extension and hook everything. That's another good pitch. You see how many breaking balls he's going to get here. And I see that, Michael. I said, you know what? I want to see him drive a ball to right field. Why you'd want to miss anything on the inner part of the plate, as Mitre ended up leaking a little fastball inner half and ended up getting home run last night.
That time they did come inside, but really inside.
Effectively. Now, you saw Posada get up in the zone. Now, that's a show pitch. If you got a guy, if there's certain guys where you could get out in body line and maybe even a third of the plate, but the danger of missing in with a guy that you know, he wants his ball upstairs again. Now, that's a mistake. Location was
popped up. Teixeira will make the play. So a 1-2-3 inning for Phil Hughes. Sometimes you do get away with a mistake. Blue Jays nothing. The New York Yankees coming to bat. Season Owl will detail that in just a moment. Let's take a look at the Yankees starting lineup presented by Lexus. The captain, the shortstop, Derek Jeter, leads off. Nick Swisher's in right field. He'll bat second. Batting third and playing first base, Mark Teixeira. Alex Rodriguez still looking for 600. He's a third baseman cleaning up. Batting fifth and playing second base, Robinson Cano. Jorge Posada will catch. He'll bat sixth. Batting seventh and DHing Lance Berkman. Curtis Granderson in center field is going to hit eighth. Batting ninth and playing left field, Brett Gardner.
Sean Markham, the right-hander, 28 years old. Boy, what a season. He missed last year with Tommy John surgery. Had a little bit of a elbow issue earlier in July. Put him on the disabled list. 10 and forward. Very respectable 3.24 ERA. The hits-to-inning ratio is excellent. Look at the 28 walks to 125 innings. Outstanding walk-to-inning ratio. Let's take a look at the pitcher scatter report. Well, I say strike throw, and we just saw it. The 28 walks, 125 innings. A whip, which is the walks hits per innings pitch, and 9 is 1.17, tops in the league. Good slider, good change. He's going to change speeds all day long. from his fastball in upper 80s down to low 70s with his changeup. Hip, hip, hooray! 7 for 15. Jorge Posada, 4 home runs, a 467 batting average. We'll watch for that matchup.
Very excitable scouting report by you.
Oh, thank you.
We really got into it. Here's Derek Jeter to start it off. Derek, 6 hits in his last 21 at-bats. Shows bunt and takes a strike. The Yankees have had success against Markham as a team, 29 for 81. They're hitting .358 against him. And they also have 8 home runs.
And Jeter's one of them, .353 coming into today.
Against the Yankees, 1-3. Those are some relief appearances in there as well. So games started 1-3, 6.39. Here's a thing that would worry the Yankees, Al. Sean Markham has a very, very good changeup. The last 2 pitchers the Yankees have faced with outstanding changeups, they've been completely shut down. James Shields and last night Ricky Romero. So let's see if they make an adjustment. The 0-2, 1-2.
Yeah, and also too, there's a Yankees are as good as anybody to wait out a lineup and have good quality at bats, have the pitcher go into deep counts. You know, we saw Ricky Romero last night, as you say, Michael, good changeup. James Shields, not only does he have a good changeup with Tampa Bay, but he also has a plus fastball. Markham will not show that velocity. He'll be in that upper 80 mark.
Ground ball left side through for a base hit.
There's that changeup right there. So the difference between having to watch for 93, 94, and 89, the Yankee hitters don't really have to respect or honor it as much.
Let's take a look at the Blue Jays defense, brought to you by Mercedes. In the outfield, Snyder, Wells, and Bautista. That's left to right. Infield, Encarnacion, McDonald, Hill, and Wynn, third to first. The All-Star John Buck behind the plate, and Sean Markham is on the mound. There's Nick Swisher. Nick hit the ball hard yesterday, nothing to show for it. He was 0 for 4, 3 fly balls to center and a line out to the shortstop. 298 average, having a very good season, an all-star season. Pitch outside.
Yeah, in spite of that 0 for 4 night, and you said it, Michael, he did hit the ball on the screws the entire night. 5 home runs, 12 RBIs in his last 13 games. As consistent as any Yankee hitter has been all year long.
Yankees had a 2-run home run by Teixeira in the first yesterday. Then on Monday they had a 2-run home run by Swisher in the first. And the first game against the Rays, a 2-run home run by Swisher in the first. So they've gotten off to good starts, haven't been able to hold on. Pitch outside. And they've been shut down after those early runs.
So Kevin Long, the hitting coach for the Yankees, talking about the movement. Now, Sarah, we just saw 2 pitches from Sean Markham, 85. It almost has change-up velocity, but those are his fastballs. He will change speeds on every one of his pitches.
Like that. 2-1.
So 85, 85, and now 80-mile-an-hour changeup. Up in the zone. Good arm speed. Pulls the string. Nick Swisher just out in front.
The 2-1. 2-1-2.
Now that changeup a little better down in the zone. Anytime you get a pitch down in the zone, once the bottom drop out of that, again, Swisher out in front. Trying to stay back long enough. Good pitch. And that is a pitch part of Markham's repertoire. He'll throw about 25% of his pitches today will be that changeup. And not only just to left-handers. His batting average against the lefties is actually better than it is against right-handers.
Just missed. Oh, they punched him out. Tim McClellan takes a long time to make that call, and he rings up Nick Swisher for the first out.
We talked about it last night's game. Tim McClellan, longtime umpire. Little cut at the very end. Tim doing his little strike 3 call. Nick Swisher didn't like it. Had the height.
You know what's amazing, Al? Tim McClellan umpires in real time like he's on Yesmo. Unbelievable. Here's Mark Teixeira. There's the strike. Got McClellan behind the plate. Andy Fletcher at first. Mike Everett at second. And Adrian Johnson is over at third.
Every time when you can hear it at home plate. The catcher and the hitter can hear Tim McClellan call a strike or a ball. But as a pitcher, when you have that little bit of delay and there's a borderline pitch where you thought it was a strike, you do have that hesitation of, what's he calling here? Takes a little second or two.
Popped up. Encarnacion shades his eyes and puts it away for the second out. And that's going to bring up Alex Rodriguez. Well, the story has been told. He is waiting on number 600. So are the Yankees, so are their fans. 46 at bat since he hit his 599th home run just under 2 weeks ago. 2 weeks ago tomorrow against Kansas City here at the stadium. But of more significant import is not the fact that he hasn't hit a home run, is now he stopped hitting. He's hitless in his last 17, and he's 3 for his last 33. And his average is down to an un-A-Rod like 264. So he needs a hit. Jeter's at first. Talking to Tino Martinez, who's at the ballpark today, said, if I was Alex, because I'm 0 for 17, forget about the home run. He said, Encarnacion is practically playing on the outfield grass at third. I'd lay down a bunt, get a cheap base hit, feel good about things, and then attack it the next time up.
Wow.
The 1-0. 2-0.
Coming inside, watching these Blue Jay pitchers. Bruce Walton, the pitching coach for the Blue Jays, they have pounded Alex on the inside part of the plate the entire series. Brandon Morrow Friday night, much better fastball than Markham. We saw last night with Ricky Romero, the left-hander. He's getting the fastballs in, and then that's something here, a breaking ball will be running down the way. They have attacked to the zone against Alex.
The 2-0. High drive, center field, deep, going back Wells, looking up. See ya! There it is! Number 600, Alex Rodriguez, the youngest man ever to get to 600 home runs. And now one of just 7 big league ball players in the history of the game to hit that many home runs. 600 is a 2-run shot and a 2-0 Yankee lead. Well, the milestone that became a millstone is now officially a milestone. 600 home runs, and he finally does it. He breaks his 0 for 17 slide, and that monkey is off his back. Congratulations indeed. Number 600 is his.
I know he's been saying it, as hasn't been on his mind, and we've been talking about it, and him not getting the hits. And It's got to be. I don't know how you feel right here watching this, Michael, but what a moment for not only Alex, but the Yankee teammates, how they've embraced him. It's got to feel, okay, for a team, for Alex.
How about this? This is on the 3rd year anniversary of his 500th home run. Same day, 3 years ago. And he deposits number 600 into Monument Park. Check swing, slow roller toward Encarnacion. Bare hand fires. Got him. Nice play by Encarnacion. And Mick Kelleher is going to have some word for Andy Fletcher. But this inning is about Alex Rodriguez. A long wait. 46 at bats. But number 47, that's the one. The world is now off his shoulders, so let's take a look on how he got it off his shoulders.
Well, after talking about the Blue Jay pitchers coming inside, this was a slider away, his nitro zone going straight away, dead center into Monument Park. Boy, relief, hands up, hits away, nice approach, driving this ball straight away center field, about 420 feet. Right there in front of the retired numbers, reaction, Kevin Long.
I think the whole team needed that.
Yes.
Because I think it was starting to weigh down everybody. It was becoming bigger than the game, and he didn't want it to be that. It's not bigger than the game. He's an important part of what this team does offensively. When he swings like that, the offense is a lot better. And you see how the crowd reacted as it's finally 600. Now,
to the day.
To Michael. The day. To the day. Now, here's the amazing thing. Alex has not had any luck since 2 Thursdays ago. But this, the way he hit the home run, is a little bit of a form of luck. It landed in Monument Park. We saw the security guard pick up the ball. So there's no negotiation. And there's Alex on the all-time list. This is what the Yankees and Alex were willing to give up for that ball if it landed in the seats. An autographed baseball, an autographed Alex Rodriguez jersey, an autographed hat, and an autographed bat. Now, if that didn't get it done, right, they were ready to offer him or her, whoever caught the ball, lunch with Alex Rodriguez and Cameron Diaz.
Cameron Diaz?
That's what Jack Curry just told me, and he knows all this stuff. So Alex doesn't have to do any of that. Maybe he'll shake the security guard.
Wait a minute. What? Security guard? Is he listening? Get it bad, right?
Alex will get that ball. It was specially marked. And one thing he didn't have to deal with today, Al, was the flashes. Because you can't see that in the day, and you don't have to have the flash bulbs to get the picture. So he didn't have to deal with that on every single pitch. Adam Lynn swings and misses.
And this year, of his 16 home runs, now 17, only one of them were in his first at bat. Now 2.
The 0-1 inside. Well, he is now the youngest player ever to get 600 home runs. The previous younger was Babe Ruth at 36 years, 196 days. Alex, 8 days past his 35th birthday, so by over a year younger than Babe Ruth. Fouled away.
You know, just getting to do these Yankee games and the great history here of not only the previous players, but watching what Alex just did and Derek Jeter's, Drake and Lou Gehrig, and just every single day and night you come and watch a Yankee game, there's great players that you'll think about in years to come. You were there, as everybody's been waiting and watching for Alex to get that 600.
Well, how long did we wait? Okay, so that was in his 47th at bat since his 599th. Jose Bautista, swing and a miss as Lynn goes down on strikes. Jose Bautista, who leads the major leagues with 33 home runs, he went homerless in 46 consecutive at bats from June 4th through June 20th, so it happens. Alex was 0 for his last 17 coming into that at bat. He has 9 hitless streaks of at least 17 at bats in his career, including 2 this season when he was 0 for 19 and 0 for 17. But he has never snapped any of those streaks with a home run. And today he did, snapping the 0 for 17 with a milestone bomb. So now let's see if the Yankees, who again have a 2-run home run in the first inning, can hold on and break their 3-game losing streak. The 0-1 inside.
I'll tell you, the way Phil Hughes so far in these hitting in 2/3, he's already had 6 swing and misses. Good fastball coming out of his hand, showing a very good curveball so far.
That one is lined to left. Gardner is there, and Hughes 6 up, 6 down, retiring the Blue Jays in order. Alex Rodriguez, a little more spring in his step as we go to the bottom of the second. 2-0 the Yanks. Today. Hey fans, it's time for the Toyota Text Poll. Today's question is, which division race in the National League will be the most fun to watch down the stretch? Hey, you can text your vote to 58772. Standard text messaging rates apply. Is it the East, the Central, or the West? Text us now and tell us. We'll tell you the results a little bit later on.
I assume that's American League?
No, National.
Oh, National, okay.
I think it's probably going to be the West.
We'll see the Padres holding up.
I think it's going to be tight. I mean, they don't have offense out. I mean, they get it done totally on pitching.
That's a good question. Cincy, St. Louis, Phillies coming on against the Braves.
Ryan Howard, though, goes on the DL. Posada dribbles one back to the mound. Markham will get the Yankee catcher for the first out. Now, you mentioned Tim McClellan behind the mound, Al. Or behind the plate, I'm sorry. When you were on the mound, do you know what your record was with Tim McClellan behind the plate?
I would guess that it was probably terrible.
Terrible? No,
bad.
Terrible is relative.
Like a 5 ERA.
Oh, come on, stop.
No?
No, it was 8.59.
I knew it. God, he's a nice man, but
you were 0-4 at 8.59.
I knew it.
Because just
maybe
think
that's
about
why
it.
I was so mad. I always thought of Leslie Nielsen. Remember the guy in
Naked Gun?
Naked Gun,
Yeah.
where you waited for him to make the call.
Yeah, but then he would dance around.
Well, they
McClellan
does
it. But here, also, just look at the two personalities. You're like a bumblebee out there, and he's like a turtle.
That's
I mean,
why
it's just,
he didn't like me.
No, he probably hated your guts.
And then I'm throwing a bunch of pitches.
Right, he didn't want to be there.
Call strikes.
Throw him. Here's Lance Berkman. Pitch inside.
I knew it would have been bad. 8.
No. 8.59. Let's not forget that extra half run. 1-2. IOTV offers you incredible HD picture and sound. HD is free with IOTV, the official HD service provider of Yankees baseball on Yes. The 1-2 to Berkman. Outside, 2-2.
That's a tough changeup to the left-handers. Markham having better batting average against. Just watching the approach here as he's done so far with the lefties. Soft down away, Lance Berkman.
The 2-2. 3-2.
I was talking to Kevin Long, the hitting coach, yesterday about Lance Berkman, and just said, veteran guys that come to new teams, he's been very, very open to any suggestions, hitting, swing, coaching, and Kevin Long is good as any hitting coach in baseball. It had an interesting perspective. When you have certain fields that are tailored for swings, and they have that short porch and that Crawford Terrace in Minute Maid, his swing is kind of patented for that left center field. As when, remember, Mo Vaughn with Fenway Park, and then he went out to Anaheim. So Kevin Long is good as anybody, tinkering with a swing, trying to get him, do certain things to get the ball out in front, maybe drive the ball more to right field than left field. But I just thought, as a veteran guy, you've been around for a long time, and Kevin Long is the same. He's open for anything that could be helpful to help improve his swing.
Well, one thing that Berkman told him when he got there, he said, listen, I think I'm okay with my left-handed swing. He said, whatever you want to do with me right-handed, fix it, whatever you want. And it's not often that you see an established veteran who's had really great success say, here I am. I'm a piece of clay, mold me.
Yep. As you said, 257 this year, Berkman against right-handers. Lance, left-handers, 188.
Popped up. Encarnacion runs out of room.
It's so positive, too. And that's what you want out of a coach and Kevin Long. And, speaking of Curtis Granderson, 30 home runs with the Tigers last year. Great fastball hitter. Said, look, there's nothing wrong. Just his approach is good as far as he's concerned. Thinking, with this short porch here in right field, being able to pull some more balls. He said, no, I don't want to pull balls. It's still a left center, right center approach. When major league hitters are hitting at their best, they're not thinking pull or turn on the ball, jerk the ball. And we saw it with Alex with a slider that was on the outer third of the plate, staying on the baseball, drive the ball over center field wall.
That one is lofted to shallow left and over the try of McDonald for a base hit.
Well, even though this ball isn't hit hard, the idea of staying on the ball and not pulling off is the only way that Granderson's able to keep his head down. Ball's going down and away. Nice little breaking ball, a backdoor breaking ball, left-handed hitter just out of the outstretched reach of John McDonald.
And the pitch to Gardner is a strike. Gardner's hitless in his last 10 at-bats. The single by Granderson snapped an 0 for 10. So a lot of O's fors are being snapped today. The 0 for 17 for Arod. The 0 for 46 home run streak for Arod. The 0 for 10 for Granderson. There's a strike, count 0-2.
You talk about Gardner. I still think, Michael, I mean, this is his area. When he hits the ball hard on the ground, we saw a game last night. UNL Escobar came up strong, bobbled a little bit, and was still able to beat it out. Gardner's got that kind of speed. Halfway now, obviously with 2 strikes, but Encarnacion is in tight. He could get so many hits in this area just based on his speed. Kind of Ichiro-like. You'll hear coaches say, know thyself. And certainly Gardner's that guy. Use his speed, use the whole field. But so impressed with the way his approach and how he goes about his at-bats when he does think left center field. He's got 20 hits, I think, on the ground. Just the slow ground rollers to the shortstop.
Runner goes. Pitch outside. Throw to second. Not good. Nice play by McDonald to knock it down and keep it in the infield. So a stolen base for Granderson.
Boy, I'll tell you, when Granderson came up here, it looked like he twisted his ankle or something. Looking in, seeing, realizing he's got to get down. What's here? Ooh, his leg. Wow. Ball away. Buck, strong arm. And ball leaks over.
He's very lucky he didn't break his right ankle.
Oh, look at
wow.
Hurt his groin.
First his right, then his left leg catches the bag. That is not a pretty slide. Swing and a miss, and Gardner down on strikes. In the second, no runs a hit, no errors, and 1 man left on base. We played 2 here at the stadium. It's 2-0 Yankees over the Jays. Alex Rodriguez finally did it. A 2-run home run to center field in the first inning, his 600th of the year, and that's the scoring in the game, 2-0. Phil Hughes has been perfect through 2, and he starts off Lyle Overbay outside 1-0. 3 strikeouts in 2 innings for Hughes, 6 up, 6 down. Bottom third of the order for the Blue Jays. 2-0.
Lyle Overbay in the final year of his 4-year deal that he signed with the Blue Jays. Not sure whether he'd be coming back next year. Very good defensive first baseman. Came over from Milwaukee and been hurt a little bit off and on during his tenure here.
The 3-0 pitch right down the middle, 3-1.
And that's about, I see him more as closer to 300, the batting average going down. He's really not a home run guy. Spray hitter, left center to right center field is his best approach.
Tell you what, though, if you're going to have a first baseman that doesn't hit 20 home runs, you're going to have to get home runs from a position that you don't normally get home runs from. And they had that with their second baseman, but now he's kind of tumbled.
And Lind.
Yeah.
Adam Lind, between both of them, they had 35 home run, 36 home run respectively.
Here's a 3-2, and Overbay walks. Top of the third inning, we talk with Jack Curry, who's in the third base camera well. Hi, Jack.
Hey, Michael, I've been on the run. I ran out to center field to talk to the young man who retrieved Alex Rodriguez's ball. His name is Frankie Babylonia. He's worked in security for the Yankees for 2 years. He's 23 years old. He's from the Lower East Side of Manhattan. And, Michael, he's on cloud nine. He said it's one of the coolest things that's ever happened to him.
Now, did he just hand the ball over already, or is it still in his possession?
Oh, no, the ball, by the time I got there, the ball had long been handed along. He said he gave it to one of his supervisors. Here's the interesting twist on it, though, Michael. He doesn't normally work that post in Monument Park. He was filling in for another young man, Ariel Mendez. So while Ariel was on a break, Frankie got the chance to play the starring role and move in there and scoop up that baseball.
Now, the information I gave about the deal that the Yankees were willing to make for the 600th ball, where did you hear that stuff, Jack? And the lunch with Arod and Cameron Diaz, that's the one that stunned me.
Well, you know I can't give up my sources, Michael. You're a reporter, but that was definitely one of the things that was floating around. And as far as Frankie goes, he said, and I knew this would be the obvious question, his colleagues were teasing him and saying, did you ever think about running off with the ball? And he said, absolutely not. I love working for Securitas. I love working for the Yankees here. He said, I knew what my instructions were. Get that ball.
There's a line drive to left field. First base hit for the Blue Jays as Encarnacion with a single. Well, that is the thing to do, and you wonder, maybe the guy get a little promotion, a little something in the envelope. I don't want to do that, but it is a nice thing that he picked up the baseball, and it is probably a big thrill. He got on camera, and you said his name. It's a pretty cool thing. Yeah,
he was very excited, and all of his colleagues were congratulating him. And a very soft-spoken young man, Michael, and you could tell that it was a big moment for him. I asked him if he's ever met Alex Rodriguez, and he said within his posts he has seen Alex walking around the stadium, but he has never met him. I said, I have a feeling, I don't want to speak out of school here, but I have a feeling you might meet him now. There might be a handshake in order.
I bet you Alex gives him a bat or something like that. Why not? What's a bat to Alex? That would be cool.
Absolutely, it would be.
So you think this is a big relief for Alex? Obviously, I think that it had started to weigh on him and weigh on the team, Jack.
Yeah, there's no doubt, Michael. When you and Al were talking and you said that as soon as you mentioned that, I agreed with you that this has to be a relief for them. This is kind of hanging over them. There was a statistic that someone mentioned this morning that since this pursuit started, the Yankees have actually lost 5 games in the standings. So I'm sure the Yankees are all relieved to have this over. Arod being the one who's the most relieved. I had the chance to interview Willie Mays about a week ago, and he had gone 21 at-bats from 599 to 600. He said once Alex gets to 600, he said, watch, I bet you he takes off and soars. I bet you the home runs come a lot easier after that.
Here's the 0-1 to McDonald. So, I mean, you're amazing, Jack. Just dropping names like, I was talking to Willie Mays 2 weeks ago. That's pretty cool.
Willie Mays was great. He was a little cranky when he first picked up the phone. I will tell you this. I mentioned Arthur Richmond, the former Yankee executive, and Willie Mays, as soon as I mentioned Arthur's name, that was my shoe-in. I told him I was friends with Arthur. I even was honest with him. Arthur gave me the phone number. He gave me the phone number about 7 or 8 years ago, so Willie was cool after that.
Fly ball, center field. Granderson is there. Overbay tags. He's going to go to third, and the throw comes into second. And that, of course, is the late Arthur Richmond, who passed away last year. So good stuff, Jack, and we'll talk to you on the postgame show.
Thanks a lot, guys.
All right. That's, when you're covering baseball, you could be covering politics, and you could be talking about, Franklin Roosevelt or something like that. You don't have the opportunity to pick up the phone call and get him. Jack Curry just picked up the phone and talked to Willie. I mean, Willie Mays is. I mean, some might argue he's the best player of all time.
Sure,
he's certainly in the discussion.
How about just the call out of the blue like that? He's a little cranky. Who are you? Sorry, Mr. Mays.
Here's Travis Snyder, runners on first and third with one out. 2-0 Yankees, top of the third inning. Swing and a miss. Count 0-1. So the first jam here for Phil Hughes. And a 1-1 count with one out. One and two.
Right by him, missing his location, trying to get out on the hands of Travis Snyder. Gets the fly ball. Anytime you have one out, you're one pitch away, double play ball, and get out of an inning. Big swing from Snyder. Saw him hit the ball out of the park on a changeup last night with Dustin Mosley. Let's see if he keeps attacking inside part of the plate. Long swing from Snyder.
The 1-2 popped up. That's not going to get a run in. Cano is right there, and he'll make the play for the second out. So Hughes is one out away from working out of this jam.
Just going right after Travis Snyder. Talking about good, young-looking hitter, power-wise, Snyder. Good at bat. Fight through it. You get the 2 outs. You look a little bit of a jam here early on. Preserve that lead, of course. Continue to make pitches.
Count 1-0.
Yeah, anytime you see a guy struggling, and Aaron Hill was as good as any second baseman in baseball last year, and had some hamstring issue early on. They have all statistics for all sorts of things, and said this year over 33% of his swings have been at pitches out of the zone. Pitching coaches and pitchers know that. You don't have to throw him a strike. And that's part of the struggle of any hitter. And that's part of the cat and mouse of pitching and hitting. Get a strike and expand the zone if you could. And when a guy's struggling, as Aaron Hill has done this year, make him hit your pitch.
These have been situations that have flummoxed Phil Hughes. Opponents are hitting 18 for 42. That's 429 with 2 outs and runners in scoring position. And that's his next step as a starter, to be able to get out of these jams.
Well, you know, we'll see how this goes. That last pitch, Michael, was actually a mistake. And I say mistake based on location, where Posada wants the ball and where he ends up throwing. The ball was down the middle. He's got to be further outside.
Foul tip to stay alive. Posada could not hold on.
Yeah, he's missing middle of the plate. When you're heading the count with an aggressive hitter who's willing to swing, that ball was up and away enough. I always thought 0-2, 1-2. I have, especially with 0-2, I have 2 pitches that are my pitches. Something that looks like a strike, the illusion over the plate and off the plate, maybe 3, 4, 5, 6 inches, depending upon how reckless of a swinger the batter is. Reckless meaning strike recognition and out of the zone.
Foul away.
See, now he's just beating him with just good fastball. 94 is not sneaky, but you know, it's just shooting out of his arm. Stays closed well, hides the baseball. But location-wise, 1-2, 0-2, you got to be better than that. And that's, you know, to your point, Michael, with the 429 batting average of 2 outs, runners in scoring position. I'm thinking somewhere down off the plate.
would you throw? Breaking ball or fastball down off the plate?
I would probably go with my breaking ball here. I think he's going to go with a high fastball.
Maybe that sets up blowing away now.
Well, now this is it. If he's established a way, now that's just the proverbial just show in to go away. Let's see if he doubles up. There's also the mindset, if you're going to throw in to miss, as he just did, do you double up inside and lock him up where he can't swing? Going with the curveball, fastball away, slider.
Grounded to Alex Rodriguez. Backhands. Goes the short way, and Hughes works out of trouble. No runs a hit, no errors, and 2 men left on base. We played 2.5. It's 2-0 Yankees. Enjoy the journey. Tomorrow's an off day. The Yankees will enjoy that. Then the Boston Red Sox come to town. 4 games Friday night, Saturday afternoon, Sunday night, and then Monday at 2:05. Mark those times. Then the Yankees hit the road 2 in Texas, and then 4 in Kansas City against the Royals. Top of the order for the Yankees here in the bottom of the 3rd. Derek Jeter, who started up the first inning with a single, will lead off, and the first pitch is low and away, 1-0. Hot shot, past the diving, Encarnacion, and down the left field line. Snyder fields in the corner, fires to second, but it's wide. It's a inning-opening double for Derek Jeter. He's 2 for 2.
Nice start for Derek Jeter and the Yankees. His 21st double. Pulling this curveball. First pitch from Markham, a curveball for a ball. This ball up in the zone, able to hot smash past Encarnacion. Down the left field line, nice outstretched reach just past the glove, hit it hard enough on the yes-mo. You don't see Derek pulling the ball too often and picks his spots. That pitch was a perfect pitch for Derek to pull the ball.
Here's Nick Swisher. He struck out in the first inning. In the count, 1-0. High pop-up. Snyder coming on. 1 away.
You see Nick Swisher just upset about that. The frustration for left-handed hitters against Markham with that they have to look for that changeup out of his hand. It looks like a fastball. Now this is a fastball. It's 85. One previous pitch, changeup for a ball. You could see his frustration. That ball was just enough tail away. Unusual for the way Sean Markham, as a right-handed pitcher, has much more success against a left-hander. It's usually the opposite. Coming in today, lefties are batting 191, righties 301.
Here's Mark Teixeira. And the count 1-0. Grounded foul.
Hey,
1-1.
Michael, you know as well as anybody, you know, during the course of a year, the Major League batters, they get around 600 at-bats if it's a healthy full season. And Mark Teixeira, you know, struggled early on. I mean, everybody talk about he's always had historically in his career a bad April. But part of the change of what's been helping him is that he's widened his stance. I talked to Kevin Long. His base is a little wider from left to right, and he's a little more open. And his leg kick is more of a one-part leg kick as opposed to pick it up and move it too far toward home plate. And that has helped him get a little more balance. See how far open he is? He gets it. He picks his foot up, puts it down, quick snap throw to second base. And as his hips are cleared, and then when the pitch is coming, it's kind of a one direct quick movement toward the plate. Obviously doesn't hit that way, stayed open the whole time. And it has helped, but it's part of that, the constant adjustment. As great a player as Mark Teixeira is, you make changes.
That one is lofted in right center field. It's going to be trouble. It's a base hit, and it goes to the wall. Jeter will score. It's an RBI double for Teixeira. It's 3-0 Yankees.
Well, I'll tell you what, it's hot as can be. A curveball away. He's fooled. Strong man is able to keep the barrel of the bat back long enough. Gets good extension, drives that ball in the right center gap. Still watching for Markham. The soft pitches. He's able to drive it through there. 31 RBIs now in Teixeira's last 30 games. Hip down, hands through, finishing. Fooled slightly, still able to get the good part of the bat on the ball.
Here's Alex Rodriguez, 1 for 1 with a home run. Hit his 600th in the first inning. And the pitch inside. Now his mind uncluttered, and now he's back to just being a baseball player who happens to have 600 home runs and happens to be one of just 7 people in the history of the game with as many home runs as that. With a significant monkey off his back. The 1-0. Grounded left side. Backhanded by McDonald. Snap throw to first and a scoop by Overbay for the second out. Let's take a look back at the first inning home run by Arod. It's our Coors Light Cold Hard Blast.
Well, after a couple fastballs in, slider, outer third, he knew it. A ball, 10, 15 feet past that 408 side. Historic 600 home runs. Youngest player to ever get to that.
A-Rod's first inning home run was his 203rd home run with 2 outs and his 110th home run in the first inning. How about that? Over 1/6 of his home runs have come in the first inning.
And this year, that only 2 of the 17.
The 1-0 inside. Well, the folks at Yankee Magazine have a commemorative A-Rod issue. It's already out there. It's out here at the stadium. I guess you can order it online as well. So Yankees Magazine, the commemorative 600th home run issue, it's already out. I'm told it's just here at Yankee Stadium. And you can pick it up the next time you are here. Count 1-2.
Oh, he doesn't give him. Did he give him timeout? I didn't see Tim McClellan give timeout. We saw that earlier in the year with Angel Hernandez, the umpire. Markham ended up just stepping off.
The 1-2. 2-2.
Part of the whole quicken the pace of baseball games up. I don't know how well that went over.
Missed inside, the count 3-2. We're in the third. Yankees lead 3-0, trying to snap a 3-game losing streak. And Posada waiting on deck. Grounded up the middle, but McDonald's right there. And that will do it. But the Yankees get another run. 1 run, 2 hits, no errors, and 1 man left on base. We go to the fourth. 3-0 Bombers. State Smokers Quit Line Quiz. Here's a question. Jose Bautista leads the league in home runs with 33. Who are the only 2 Blue Jay players ever to lead the American League in home runs? You know this, Al?
I think I do. I think I know one of them.
Personally?
Well, I personally know both of them.
All right. Well, if you only know one, how do you know who the other one is?
Because the other one I'm not sure about, but I still know him. I played with both of them.
All right.
Makes a lot of sense, doesn't it?
It will when we find the answer. The 1-0. There's that breaking ball of Bautista. You can see that's their plan against Bautista. Let's just keep firing that breaking ball away.
Why not? I would. Until he starts driving that ball to right center field.
There it is again. And another strike. Grounded left side, through for a base hit. Hey, NYY Steak is a great place to host your next corporate event, cocktail party, birthday party, and much more. For more information on how to book your next private event at NYY Steak, please contact Mary Gergis at 646-977-8041 or just log on to nyysteak.com. I found this next stat that I'm going to give you, frankly, amazing. Amazing. Now, the Blue Jays have 167 home runs, and that's the most in the big leagues. Okay, great. That's not amazing. Here's Vernon Wells, who has 22 of them. Now, that's 75 more home runs than they've allowed this year. Now, I didn't think that was amazing until it was put into perspective. That's the second largest differential for any team in Major League history through the first 107 games of a season. Who's the team that has the largest differential? The 1927 Murderers Row New York Yankees, who had 83 more home runs than their opponents. That's unbelievable. So what that means is you got a power-hitting team and a pretty good pitching staff that's keeping the ball in the ballpark.
And a staff here that's second in the American League in strikeouts. So they're keeping the ball in the ballpark, and they're getting strikeouts. But still looking up at the Tampa Bay, New York, and Boston. You know, and I think for Toronto, and they really, it was really the blueprint, I think, of all baseball teams back in the late 80s, early 90s.
Wells fouls it straight back here and under our booth.
In so many ways, and player development, etc. And the drought that they've had, and I think it definitely plays on the mindset of this ball of Toronto, and you certainly could include Baltimore. But what Tampa has done to now push the mighty Yanks and the Red Sox has to give a team like Toronto the hope and the thinking that, you know what, we are a player or two away to legitimately compete with the Yankees, Red Sox, and now you throw in Tampa Bay. And I think their general manager, Alex Anthopoulos, is really doing it the right way. He's reluctant to trade away a couple commodities in the bullpen, especially here with Scott Downs and Jason Frazier. Had offers for Jose Bautista. He has control of Bautista next year. All he has to do is offer him arbitration. They're not far off. Talking to Bruce Walton, their pitching coach, and said, geez, you know, you trade Roy Halladay, you know, did you really think you'd compete as well as you had? He said, absolutely. We took it as a pitching staff as a whole.
High fly ball, center field. Granderson is there. He makes the catch. Tagging is Bautista, but he just draws the throw. Well, this weekend, the Bombers host the Red Sox here in the Bronx, and yes, has expanded coverage starting Friday at 6 with batting practice today, and then the pregame. Then after the game on My 9, turn back to Yes for the W.B. Mason postgame. And Saturday and Sunday, get complete postgame coverage with Yankees extra innings right here on Yes. These are the probables. Buchholz had a great year against Vasquez, Lackey against Sabathia, Beckett against Burnett. Wow, and Lester against Mosley. I'm looking forward to that series. That should be fun.
Wow.
Pitch outside to Lynn.
Beckett part of a little brouhaha last night with Cleveland.
Got ugly.
Yeah.
I mean, you never see Terry Francona, the manager of the Red Sox, fired up that way, and he was really ticked off. Now, I know he's a buddy of yours. You know him from the Marlin days, but Beckett always seems to be in the middle of those things.
Well, you know what? He's got that whole Texas bravado kind of, you know, gunslinger of coming at you, give you a bow tie, and, you know, knock you back like the old Nolan Ryan kind of mentality, a little bit of a cowboy. Yeah, he's not afraid to come inside.
Shelley Duncan, former Yankee, was right in the middle of it. I don't know if I'd want to fight Shelley Duncan. The 2-0, 3-0. There's a strike.
You're a peaceful guy. I don't know if you'd want to fight anybody.
Well, if I was going to fight somebody, Al, I'd like to fight somebody that I have a chance against, which would lower the pool. But Shelley Duncan's a big guy, a tough guy, and he has some snappage in him.
Mm-hmm.
The 3-1. I mean, Shelley used to hurt people when he just
high five
bashed them. Yeah.
Remember when he first got called up? Guys were afraid to give him a high five.
And he walked him. Now, Hughes is pitching well, Al, but one thing that's getting away from him is his pitch count. He's at 67 right now with 1 out in the 4th inning.
Yeah, and on a team that really has shown a willingness to put the ball in play. And that goes both ways. Of course, you still have to make pitches. This is a team that is dangerous, can hit the ball out of the park. But take advantage of it, especially in a couple of scenarios. Phil has had some, the 0-2, 1-2 count, and he's either left it where he's left some pitches to be hit or ends up ultimately walking. That was a battle back there with Adam Lynn. He got 3-0 behind in the count and battled back to 3-2.
John Buck rips one foul. All you do is be a little kid sitting in that section, you're going to get a ball. Very neat.
And he's next.
Check this out, though. What would you say, a kid's 8 or 9?
7.
All right, 7, 8, 9, in that general vicinity. You got outrageously great seats to a Yankee game. I mean, those seats are mint. And you're getting the ball. Now, what do you expect the next time you come to the game? Well, you might get spoiled at this point.
If you're not sitting there. Little half swing. Eddie Fletcher, first base umpire, didn't think Buck went. Yeah, that pitch count, like 4th inning, he's certainly well within reach of going six plus innings here. Very good ball strike ratio.
Swing and a miss.
Nice pitch from Phil Hughes. Go cutter. Ended up throwing this lot. Looks like a slider, but it has a cutter velocity, 88 miles an hour, away from John Buck. Good fastball hitter. John Buck had 3 home runs in a game earlier this year against the A's. Throw it again.
Swing and a miss. Got him. Puts him away with a 92-mile-an-hour fastball.
And a very good fastball hitter in Buck. Now this ball ends up middle of the plate. Just beats him. He's dropped the bat while he's doing it. That cutter swings through it. Looks like a fastball. Has great late movement. And then that ball just by him at 92.
Did the cutter turn your career around?
Absolutely. But it saved my career, and it prolonged it. I threw the cutter. The latter part of my career, Michael, I threw it as much as almost as Mariano. Of course, Mariano being a closer, coming in 10, 12, 14 pitches. But I got to a point where I realized that my cutter was almost as fast as my fastball. And if I had movement, it was a moving fastball. Which, if I say there's, a comfortable velocity of 91, 92 on the fastball, and you're throwing an 89-mile-an-hour cutter, throw it. And I threw a lot of them. Especially the lefty. I think it's so effective because it looks like a fastball. And the right-handed pitcher in Hughes, when you're getting that ball that's on the hand of the lefty, it's really tough for especially the big guys that are trying to get extension. They want the barrel of the bat. They want the ball out over the plate. Usually your home run guys were a very good matchup for cutters. The bigger they were, the farther they want to throw it. You better just jam them in on hands.
Lights are on here at Yankee Stadium because of the overcast sky. That one is driven to right field. It's going to be over the head of Nick Swisher and up against the wall. Scoring is Bautista. They're going to hold Lind up at third. An RBI double for Overbay. And the Blue Jays are on the board. Yankees now lead 3-1.
Overbay getting a curveball. Wants the back door. You see where Posada ends up on the outside corner, middle of the plate. Lyle Overbay, good hitter, is able to get this ball coming into the barrel of the bat here at Yankee Stadium. Well struck ball. Nick Swisher just getting that ball in quickly.
Little conference on the mound between Dave Island and his pitcher. This copyrighted telecast is presented by authority of the New York Yankees and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the New York Yankees. No action in the Yankee bullpen. Hughes' pitch count, as you can see, is at 75. And here is Encarnacion. Pitch is low, 1-0. Blue Jays could be a base hit away from tying this game. 3-1, top of the fourth. There's the strike.
Encarnacion may have thought that ball was up. That's the one pitch, Michael. I just think Tim McClellan barking into the Blue Jay dugout. Watch the height of this pitch here. Posada catches it at the mast. Now look, in Major League Baseball, more times than not, an umpire will call that a ball. I've always thought you credit a hitter for not swinging at a pitch that he really could and should drive. That's right down the middle, slightly above the belt. That's a strike.
Second and third with 2 outs. The 1-1. Missed outside, 2-1. Now Encarnacion is dangerous, Al. You got first base open, and the lighter hitting John McDonald is on deck. I'm not saying he's going to pitch around him, but I don't think he's going to throw anything over the plate.
Well, with 2 outs, I mean, you said it. Certainly home run potential, no question about it. Just stay away. He's cutting the ball on the outside part of the plate this entire bat.
And now it's 2-2. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, 2 on. Yankees up by 2.
This was Monday night. Ball on the inside part of the plate. Like these Blue Jay hitters, liking that ball on the inside. It's 11th home run on the year.
The 2-2. Swing and a miss. Got him. Went up the ladder. High fastball. And Encarnacion swings through. 1 run, 2 hits. 2 men left on base. We go to the bottom of the fourth. Yankees lead 3-1. Smokers quit line quiz. Jose Bautista leads the league in home runs with 33. Who are the only 2 Blue Jay players ever to lead the league in home runs? Who are they, Al?
George Bell, Carlos Delgado.
Oh, man. One guy you got traded for. I don't know if you know Fred McGriff.
Yeah, I played with Freddie. That was close.
You got both wrong.
George Bell, he was MVP that year, remember? I thought he had like 50 home runs.
Yeah, I guess we're wrong. Here's Jorge Posada.
It's embarrassing.
You know what I liked about it, though? The way you gave the answer with such certitude. You knew you were right.
Well, think of it. Delgado needs a home run.
Right.
Bell, the
Sure.
MVP.
Makes sense.
I remember
it's just
87.
wrong.
George, while I was with the Yankees, he hit one way back in that where they used to park ambulances at the old stadium.
The 0-1. Lofted to shallow center, coming on as well, still coming, and there's one away. Jesse Barfield got a nice hand here at Old Timers Day.
Jesse, what a nice guy.
Great guy.
Yeah.
I mean, the only thing that Yankee fans hold against Jesse Barfield is it cost them you.
Right. That was a tough time.
Yeah. April 30th?
Was it?
Or April 29th, I always thought.
You were the beat guy for the Post.
Yeah.
Millie was crying.
Yeah. Young lady was crying, holding onto Al's leg in the players' parking lot as he was bringing the box with his stuff, all of his belongings out. I thought Al had a tear in his eye, but he claims to this day he doesn't, or didn't.
Yeah, it was upsetting. Your first organization, grew up nearby. You're 23 years old, or how old was I? 21?
1989 is
23.
how old
I was 23.
Al, if this makes you feel any better, George Bell hit 47 home runs in 1987, but McGuire had 49 that year.
Oh,
so close.
And I bet that Delgado's not far off. And the MVP that year.
That's right.
Yankee hitters being a little more patient with Sean Markham, just constantly showing that little this side of the plate with a little changeup, 2-seamer running the ball away. It's like another sinker.
Another strike and a count 3-2. Off the end of the bat, pop up to right field. Bautista is there for the second out. And that's going to bring up Curtis Granderson. Granderson single to left, blooper over the shortstop's head. That was in the second, breaking an 0 for 10 for him, and then stole second.
Well, only 56 pitches in, but so far, watching what Sean Markham's done, staying away, has really barely come inside to stand up these Yankee hitters. Why should he, especially with the right field porch here? The approach for these left-handers especially, just try to think left center field. You're going to either get the fastball run away or the changeup. Markham, I said, 191 against left-handed batters coming in today. And because of that pitch right there. Now, if there's a pitch that I could, well, I never had a good changeup, but I would teach a changeup to every kid. It's such an effective pitch. It looks just like the fastball out of the hand. Here it comes again.
But everybody I've spoken to, including Mariano and you, who threw cutters for a living per se, it's very hard to throw a change because your hand is in a different spot.
Because exactly right. When you throw a cutter, your hand turns in like a curveball or a fastball, 4-seamer. But a changeup and a 2-seamer, especially changeup, you have to pronate your hand to go out, almost like a screwball.
Swing and a miss, and Granderson is down on strike. So 1-2-3 inning for Markham against the Yankees. We go to the 5th. Yankees are leading this one 3-1 on yes. 7th, and then on the postgame with Jack. Hey, traveling this season? Take the Yankees with you. Subscribe to MLB.tv today to see every Yankees game live or on demand on your computer. Visit Yankees.com to order and get more details. MLB.tv. Baseball everywhere.
Boy, I don't know if you saw that, Michael, last night with Andrew McCutchen. Boy, I thought he was going to be out for a while. Comes back the next day and hits a home run. Boy, Nancy's right. Put an exclamation point on that.
Kia Motors scoreboard, 3-1 Yankees lead the Blue Jays. John McDonald will lead off 9-1-2 in the Blue Jays order against Phil Hughes. First pitch is upstairs, 1-0. If you just turned on the game, well, you missed it. The first inning, Alex Rodriguez hit his 600th home run after that long 46 at bat late. But that's still the difference in the game. Yankees tagged on a run in the third. They lead 3-1 over the Blue Jays. Alex was hitless in his last 17 at bats before that swing against Markham, and he deposited it into Monument Park for the milestone 600th home run. High pop-up. Arod shading his eyes. He has trouble with these pop-ups, and he fights that one right into the glove for the first out. You know, we're not going to be mean if you just tuned in. Why don't you take a look at his 600?
Straight away central. Gotten a good count, 2-0 count off Sean Markham. 600 home runs.
Fastest in games. He's second behind Babe Ruth. So he's younger than Ruth, but remember, Ruth, his first couple of years of his career, he was a pitcher with the Red Sox and didn't get a chance to hit as much as he would have as an everyday player.
Well, this is where Posada, you know, he's seen so many of the Yankee pitchers and can identify really what he's seeing out of the pitcher's hand. And it's a good visit. Phil Hughes realizing that pitch count, getting up here in the 5th inning, 84 pitches. Got underneath it, pushed the baseball. It's just a subtle little reminder that Posada does to his pitchers.
Popped up and out of play. The 2-1. Upstairs, 3-1.
Yeah, just watching Phil Hughes here, just making sure early in the game that he had good tilt. You get underneath it. Usually what happens for a pitcher is you get tired and you push the baseball. That's what Posada came out earlier.
Popped up. Granderson for the second out.
I think he's too, you know what, Michael, you know, there's games where you labor and you look at the box score, you say, okay, 5th inning, 1 run, 3 hits. I think it's been kind of that day so far. He's missed with his location at times. Starting to see the ball up in the zone a little bit. Have not seen him throw a changeup. I know we talked about it, or I talked about it, saying that, you know, really just helps sometimes as a pitcher, you just get a free out. If you can get 1 or 2 during a lineup. See the ball underneath a little bit, pushing the baseball. It's usually an indicator for most pitchers that you're getting a little tired.
Judge already said before the game in his press conference that he'd like to see Hughes throw more changeups. That would be the next progression. He said he's thrown some this year. He said, but I'd like to see him throw more. But then it comes back to what we were talking about before, Al. If he's going to depend on the cutter a lot, maybe it's not reasonable to expect him to be able to throw a changeup well as Dave Island comes out. Probably seeing the same thing that you saw, Al.
Yeah, he's getting underneath it. You lose your lower half, you start pushing the baseball, it becomes all arm. And, you know, that's part of the process of fighting yourself as a pitcher to realize, okay, if I'm losing my lower half and getting a little tired, you got to be slower. Think on the backside, get your arm up and get good playing. But no, Michael, if you remember out of spring training, the biggest reason why, or allegedly, that he made the rotation was because of his changeup.
Yeah.
and, you know, started off, I think he'd sprinkle in 5, 6, 7, 8 changeups a game, but I chart, and I haven't seen a changeup today.
Al, we always hear that in spring training. A.J. Burnett was going to throw his changeup more. He was throwing it in spring training. Well, you have to get a big out. You're not going to go with your third pitch or your fourth pitch. You've got to feel very comfortable with it, and you don't feel comfortable with it unless you get outs in a game. It's like a catch-22.
Okay, I agree, but haven't been there, Michael. Instead of forcing it midway through the game, I call it an emergency pitch, where you have to then put it part as your repertoire.
Right.
Use it early, and even if you're not sure when to use it, it's just, you know, throw it to a batter who, you know, maybe is a 2 or 3 home run guy. Don't throw your third or fourth pitch to, you know, Jose Batista or one of the power guys where you have a chance of, you know, turning the ball game around. I'm not saying completely waste it, but it'll give you a feel, and it'll be another place to go as a pitcher when you do have to make that pitch. And sometimes you get an out or two out of it, if it is your third or fourth pitch, as it is for Phil Hughes.
Popped up. Granderson cut in front of by Swisher, who makes the play, and a 1-2-3 inning for Hughes. And he's eligible for the win. He's pitched 5 at the end of 4.5. Yankees lead the Blue Jays 3-1. Yankees are leading 3-1. A 2-run home run by Arod in the first, his 600th home run, an RBI double by Mark Teixeira in the third. And that's the scoring against Phil Hughes, an RBI double by Overbay in the fourth, and that's it. So a little bit of a pitcher's duel developing here at the stadium. Markham, in his last 3 starts, 3-0, 2.04, so he's pitched very well. And now here's Brett Gardner to lead off. Brett struck out in the second. He's 0 for his last 11. Pitch is low.
As we thought, Michael. Looking at a matchup of 2 guys having good years. 12-4 Hughes, 10-4 Markham.
Last time against the Indians, 7 innings, 3 hits, a run. Didn't walk a batter, and 10 strikeouts.
Not throwing a ball over 90 miles an hour.
That one is driven down the right field line. It's going to be trouble. It's going to be a base hit. And it bounces into the seats for a double for Gardner.
Brett Gardner getting out in front of this fastball, ends up being middle of the plate, driving that ball with a ground rule double, his 10th double of the year. Whoop, watch out. Oh. Inner hands. He ended up throwing the ball up to her. Batista did.
This time she catches it. Here's Derek Jeter, who is 2 for 2. And he bunts. Third base side. It's a beautiful bunt and a base hit. Jeter caught Encarnacion sleeping. So Jeter is 3 for 3. The Yankees have runners on the corners, nobody out.
Multifaceted player here, gets it out early enough, as Michael said. Encarnacion playing well. He's playing even with the bag. It's a fantastic bunt. Quick enough for him to try to make a good throw. Not able to do so. Derek Jeter hustling down the line, smelling a hit.
And that's Jeter's third bunt hit of the season.
Well, early in the count, we'll see if there's any balls here where Nick Swisher could get a pitch to drive. And obviously, he'd love to get a hit with a productive out, fly ball deep enough. Not even have to be that deep with Brett Gardner's speed at third base.
Pitch outside.
Sean Markham, he's really sinker, yes, but he's a guy that doesn't really have a ground ball pitch, something that really would be down in the zone. He's showing that changeup, which has been effective. And you see like a split finger kind of effect, or a real hard breaking slider.
Nice play by Kelleher. How's this for an odd Nick Swisher bad stat? In a year where he's been an all-star and all of his stats seem to be great, he's only succeeded in 7 of 22 times getting the runner in from third with less than 2 outs. So he can improve upon that.
Yeah, and no one as a pitcher, you know the guys that like these moments or have succeeded in these moments, and it's usually a guy that's very patient, realizes the pitcher's in trouble, wait for your pitch as opposed to allowing the pitcher to throw his pitch and you expand and swing at a ball.
Snap throw to third. Gardner's back in plenty of time. And the count 3-1. Now this is the strength of batting in the number 2 hole in this Yankee lineup. Nick Swisher doesn't have to really worry about a breaking ball here, because you don't want to walk Nick Swisher and then come up with the bases loaded with Mark Teixeira. He's going to see a better pitch in this spot than he would see in another spot, or any batter will. Do you think they would throw him a change on 3-1?
I do, only because that's part of his MO, is Markham throwing a lot of changeups to the lefties.
Grounded foul.
Change up. But your point well taken. There's no question about it. The lineup as a whole, there's rhyme or reason to it. How you attack a lineup as pitchers, and also where you place guys lefty-righty matchup. You know, when you're on the mound, and especially when you're in a bad count as a pitcher, 2-0, 2-1, 3-1 count, you peek over on deck. Okay, how do I match up with that person? Do I want to just not groove a pitch, but am I going to be mindful of the meaty part of the plate? Or am I going to still go for a corner? If I walk him, so what? I'll get the next guy. Well, we got Mark Teixeira on deck, and then Alex Rodriguez. That's what makes, when the Yankees are clicking, so difficult to pitch to them as a whole.
The old fake to third, fake to first.
You love that, don't you?
Love it. Have for years. Made famous by Jeff Nelson.
And Turk Wendell.
I meant the pitcher didn't have whale's teeth around his neck.
And chew bubblegum and licorice.
Is that what he do?
He did.
That's a lot of sugar.
He brushed his teeth in between innings.
The 3-2. And he walked him, so he does give Teixeira a shot with the bases loaded. Bruce Walton on the phone to the bullpen. Teixeira with a grand slam off the Mets, Johan Santana. And now he comes up with the bases loaded. Yankees have 9 grand slams, the most they've had in a single season. Back in 1987, they had 10. I believe that was the year that Don Mattingly had 6 himself. That one is lined in the left center field. It is a base hit. Gardner scores. Jeter scores. Moving to third is Swisher. It's a 2-run single for the red-hot Teixeira. And the Yankees lead 5-1. And Bruce Walton quickly out to the mound. And that's going to bring up Alex Rodriguez. 600 home run club. And some of the biggest names in baseball history, obviously, in that club. And now there's a new member of the club. It happened in the first inning. Alex Rodriguez finally hit his 600. So now looking for 601. And you heard Jack Curry in his report in the third inning said that he spoke to Willie Mays, and Mays said that once Alex hits the 600, then they might come in a bunch. Alex, 255 home runs with the Yankees out of his 600. And the Yankees looking to have a little bit of a laugher. They have not had one in a long time. First and third, still nobody out. And the pitch is inside. Alex hit his first home run on June 12th of 1995 against the Kansas City Royals and Tom Gordon. There's the all-time home run list. Number 500 was against Kyle Davies of the Royals, and number 600 against Sean Markham here of the Blue Jays.
Boy, he's going downtown there. A little change up on the inside part of the plate. Big cut.
Alex became the second player to hit his 600th career home run as a member of the Yankees. The other one, Babe Ruth, against the Browns in 1931. The 1-1. Strike, 1-2. It's a nice 600th home run at the first Yankee game. Talk about spoiled. And the 1-2. How about this stat? There are only 3 players who have hit 100 or more home runs with 3 different teams. Reggie Jackson, Oakland, the Yankees, and the Angels. Darrell Evans, the Braves, the Giants, and the Tigers. And Alex Rodriguez, the Mariners, the Rangers, and the Yankees. In fact, Alex is the only one to reach 150 home runs with 3 different teams. If you want to narrow the scope, he sits alone. But 1 of 7 now with 600 home runs. The 2-2. And the count is full at 3-2. Brian Talent, one of 3 left-handers in the bullpen, warming for the Blue Jays. And Robinson Cano, a lefty swinger, is on deck. And the 3-2. Swing, and it got a piece of the hand, the bare hand of John Buck on the foul tip. I mentioned that Babe Ruth hit it against the Browns. The Browns are now the Orioles. And John Buck's hand is now black and blue. You just wonder how you don't get a broken bone on that, Al.
Well, they're taught to keep the hand underneath the backside of their right shin guard, but with a runner at first base, they have to be mindful of a potential stolen base. Boy, that got him good. So the Browns became the Orioles, and the Browns football team became the Ravens.
In Baltimore.
Baltimore,
yeah.
Huh?
Looks like he's bleeding on the hand. Trainer working on him.
Can't throw with that.
They're going to take him out, I think. Oh, you can see his hand is bleeding. That's awful. He's had such a good year. You hope that he's just knocked out of this game and not for any long period of time. And hope that there's no broken bones. Maybe it split the nail.
Yeah.
I don't know if he's going in to get it cleaned up. I would assume that they'll bring out Jose Molina to catch. And we'll wait for Molina, who might be in the bullpen right now. And as we wait for the Blue Jays to solve this, Friday starting pitchers brought to you by Fios TV, Internet, and Phone. It's time for Fios. Clay Buchholz against Javier Vasquez. Our coverage on Yes begins at 6. And we'll be on for an hour on Yes covering it. And then game time is on My 9 at 7, probably 7:08, the first pitch. Gives us a little time as they're trying to solve this, Al, because obviously this is going to be discussed. 600 home runs for Alex Rodriguez. Is some of the sting taken out of 600 home runs because of the steroid era and Alex's admission of the 3 years in Texas of using performance-enhancing drugs?
I would think so. Look, we've been talking about, the steroid era and, part of what's transpired in baseball. Unfortunately, that's part of our history now, and there's testing in place. And as you say, Alex's admission, I think has changed the view on the home runs, or at least some of these plateaus that used to be really viewed as very special milestones.
Time I think is going to separate it a little bit and probably put it into proper perspective. But we'll see, because of the top 7 now, you could say 3 have been brushed with either allegations or admissions. You've got Barry Bonds and Sammy Sosa and Alex Rodriguez, and number 9 is Mark McGwire, and he's admitted it as well. So it is part of an era, and you wonder, did people get... I think in New York, they did get caught up in the 600. They thought it was a big deal. Around the country, we don't know. We're not getting that sense. I'm not quite certain, but when he was on the road in Tampa Bay and in Cleveland, I know crowds came out to see the 600th home run.
Well, I mean, look, it's still a fantastic home run total. It's certainly what Alex Rodriguez, who knows where he's going to end up. But it'll be discussions, I'm sure, for years to come, well past his retirement date.
Well, he's got 600, and now he's trying, at least for an RBI here. The 2 RBIs gave him 87 on the year, the 2-run home run. Now he's got runners on first and third, nobody out. And it is Molina behind the plate, replacing Buck. And the 3-2. Popped up. That will not get a run in. And the catch will be made by McDonald for the first out. Now let's take a look at the pitch-by-pitch against Arod, brought to you by Suzuki Kazashi.
Alex is frustrated there. A new catcher, all that time away, gets a slider. Fastball in, tries to stand them up, throws a changeup down the middle. He's out in front, swung for the downs. A fastball in, little slider away, comes in on his hands, gets in this count where he fouls that ball off. Buck is gone, and then a slider down the way. I think very good pitch by Markham, and Alex was probably not looking for a slider down the way. Good pitch.
So Markham now lives to face another batter, and that's Robinson Cano. Missed outside. The 1-0. There's a strike. The count 1-1.
Just repeatedly, Markham has tried to stay away, made some mistakes in on the lefties, or at least middle of the plate, as he did with Teixeira. See if Robinson Cano stays on this ball and looks, well, coming inside.
Right in on the hands.
Yeah, that's one of very few pitches he's done that. Now I wonder, with Molina behind the plate, new catcher, his own mindset of, okay, this is what I think, the strength and weakness of Robinson Cano.
Cano is grounded to third and grounded to short. Swisher's at third and Teixeira is at first. Teixeira with 3 ribbies now has 81 on the season. Fouled away. How about Teixeira in day games? In day games, after playing the previous night this year, Teixeira coming into this game 32 for 90, 10 home runs and 29 ribbies in 21 such games. That's team high in every single mark. The next highest belongs to Derek Jeter. And Derek is 349 in day games after playing the previous night. One, two. This could be a double play. There's one, and there's two. So Cano is now 0 for his last 13. A rare slump for him in a great season. But 2 runs for the Yankees on 3 hits and 1 left. It's 5-1 Bombers. Great partnerships are built on trust. At GE Capital, we prove that every day, and the Blue Jays proved it right here.
Well, Aaron Hill, nice little shuffle pass over to John McDonald, and Lyle Overbay to complete the 4-6-3 GE Capital partner play.
(5-1) is used as a little more breathing room as we go to the 6th. He'll face 3, 4, and 5 in the Blue Jay order. Here's Jose Bautista. Bautista shows bunt and another breaking ball. You would think that Bautista now would have caught on. I mean, if somebody as dense as me has caught on that they're throwing the breaking balls, that he would take that ball to right field, but probably doesn't know how.
That's not his swing. You're right. Look, I think this has been a great year for Bautista. Talking to people who cover the club and have watched him, and also the coaching staff, this is his first year in his career that he's had an opportunity to play every day and be comfortable where he is. He came up with the Pirates. Look at that. Michael's saying center field, left field. this season. And also for his career, folks. 91, now 93 home runs.
How about that? He takes one to right field. Doesn't take it out of the park, but he takes one to right field for a single.
Yeah, but I'll tell you, Michael, and that's why I even said out of his career home runs, even by accident. Watch him. Watch where he swings. He swings real hard. He's pulling off over here, and whoops, look at that ball's going to right field. This is not by design. There's a reason why Robinson Cano is playing where he is. That's a ball that's cutting away, slices off his bat, pulling. This is a pull hitter all the way. Oh, right off the end of the bat. That ball, because of the cut, actually, he got a base hit out of it.
You're very sloppy with the telestrator.
What did I do?
I mean, it was like you were trying to make an arrow, and it was like came out like that. Here's Vernon Wells. Ooh, a fastball right by him. Pitch upstairs. Hughes looking for his 13th victory of the season. 12-4 coming into the game with a 4.06. Now the ERA is down to 3.97. High drive, left center, giving Chase Granderson on the track at the wall. He makes the play. Taking an extra base hit away from Vernon Wells. And they share a lack, Granderson and Gardner.
Well, this ball, well struck by Vernon Wells off the end of the bat. This is a cutter, but look where it ends up, middle of the plate. Want that ball further away from the right-handers, especially big hitter like Vernon Wells. This had enough hang time for Curtis Granderson to be able to fly, get underneath it, and certainly just enough real estate for Phil Hughes and the Yankees' sake on the yes mo once he's got a track to fight in the sun. Nice play.
That long drive and the 100 pitch count convinces Girardi that'll do it for Hughes, and Phil gets a nice hand as he walks up the mound. They're going to call on Boone Logan to face Adam Lynn. Yankees are up 5-1. Hughes' afternoon is over. Not ours, though. Brought to you in part by Hyundai. People are talking about Hyundai, uncensored. See what they're saying at Hyundai.com. By Mass Mutual, a company owned by its policyholders. And by Hager, established 1926. Your own great moment starts at Hager.com. Joe Girardi makes the call to the bullpen. Brought to you by AT&T, a rethink possible. And he's going to bring on Boone Logan.
Done a nice job, especially after getting sent down and coming back. The respectable ERA coming down. 13 walks to 24 innings. It's kind of two sides. He's really established himself as that lefty important arm out of the bullpen, especially with Damaso Marte going down with disabled list.
The 0-1. And Lynn gets plunked, and he will go to first, and Bautista will move to second. Trying to come in, but it got away from him.
Yeah, that's hard. I'll tell you, for a lefty on a lefty, especially where Lind is standing, you got that little window. You don't see it as well as you do with a right-handed hitter. That ball just got away.
Phil Hughes just a spectator now. And here is Jose Molina in the spot vacated by John Buck. We're still waiting information on Buck's hand. Had to leave the game on a foul tip off the bat of Alex Rodriguez in the bottom of the fifth. Popped up and out of play. Sitting talking to the Blue Jays third base coach Brian Butterfield, and Jose Molina came in and then said hello and then walked out, and Butterfield said, one of the best players I've ever had on a team. He said, unbelievable. He said, I would take him anywhere I'd go. He said, that's how good this guy is with people, behind the plate, with pitchers. He said, just a great, great teammate. Fouled away.
You know what, I'm talking to Molina in the first game of the series, and you know he's really taken on that role with the Blue Jays, not only with fellow hitters but the pitching staff as a whole, and has been around long enough. Calls a great game, knows the hitters in Major League Baseball, and as you say, Brian Butterfield, well respected. Yankee players loved having him as a teammate.
The 0-2. And Butterfield, with a Yankee background, came up through the Yankee system, managed in the Yankee system, coached for Buck Showalter. And actually the Yankees
Jack
Player of the Year award in the minor leagues is named after his dad, Jack Butterfield, one of their player personnel directors. Brian's considered one of the best third base coaches in the game. Just a real baseball lifer, a good man. The 0-2. He could not hold up. He goes around for the second out. Molina down on strikes.
Getting ahead is the big key right here against Molina for Boone Logan. He cannot pull back and hold up on that nasty slider, back foot to the right-handed hitter. Good depth, good plane on that pitch. I think the biggest thing with Boone Logan, have been around for a bit in baseball, the Braves, White Sox. For any reliever, but especially relievers, the importance of that strike one with your fastball, using your fastball and expand to your breaking ball. Strike one there with a little slider. And then if you can get anything more out of stuff-wise, and you know, Boone Logan, remember first in April, throwing some upper 90s.
Against the White Sox, he threw 97, his former team. He's gotten up to about 94, 95. That was a one-day thing where he was really pumped against his former team. The 0-1. Blue Jays are 1 for 7 today with runners in scoring position. We're in the top of the 6th. Yankees are leading this one 5-1. Ground ball to second. Nice play there by Cano. He sets and fires to first, and that'll do it. So Logan comes on and again does a good job. Phil Hughes, his line is complete as the Yankees are leading 5-1 going to the bottom of the 6th. A text poll. Once again, the question, which division race in the National League will be the most fun to watch down the stretch? You've been texting at 58772, and here is how you voted. Wow, close.
It was close. It should be close.
37% say it's going to be tight and fun in the East.
Well, they believe in the Phils. I guess the Mets 6.5 back from the Braves.
Jorge Posada is going to lead off against Markham. Swings at the first pitch and grounds it. Oh, what a play by Hill. Scrambles to his feet and just gets Posada. Posada, as he's gotten older, certainly now blessed with speed, and that cost him a base hit right there.
What a play. Outstretched. I thought that for sure was going to center field. Quickly getting up, but as Michael says, Posada, not the fastest Major League Baseball player. He'll have in mind of knowing that he's got to, even as Posada, he's got to quickly get up and make the throw. Posada thought he was safe. This would be a good angle.
Well, he was out.
Kind of stutter step there at the end.
Here's Lance Berkman, who takes a strike from Markham. Markham's pitch count still very good at 85. Now, his money pitch, obviously, Al, is the change. We've talked about it a lot. So how does he hold it?
Well, Sean Markham is a circle change. Circle changer here, okay, with the finger. You could either go 2-seam or 4-seam.
That one's popped up.
And you were talking about it, Michael, with why it's hard as a cutter. With Mariano throws a cutter off center, and the hand goes through this way. A fastball, your hand generally will come through the ball, and your finger goes inside. Same thing with a curveball, your hand's inside. Now, a changeup, you have to pronate. Pronate is where your hand actually turns out, like a screwball. They used to talk about screwballs. They don't say that anymore. Your hand actually turns out, as Markham has shown today, really fantastic, and that ball just rolls off of your ring finger and middle finger, and the ball spins out as a down and away, or in this case for me as a left-hander, down away from the righty. For Markham, it would be down away from the lefty. But this is generally how guys throw a circle change, and the hardest thing is to be able to stay inside the baseball.
And also, I guess, muscle memory is going to have, well, if you're used to throwing the cutter, that's the way your hand is used to going, as you said, in rather than pronate. And there's the okay sign that I was talking about.
And he's choking. That's really choking down on this, and that's why he gets so much velocity off. And there's different grips. I know guys will throw what's 4-seam or 2-seam. This pitch ended up being 79 miles an hour. And then it's a feel. It really is. You were mentioning, we were talking about Phil Hughes. You know, would you go to your third and fourth pitch? Because it's such a feel pitch, it's hard to really trust it unless you throw it enough, as a guy like Sean Markham who's had success with it.
You think that usual development? He's just 24 years old.
Yeah, I think, you know, look, not everybody's able to do it.
Oh, nice play by Overbay. Took an extra base hit away from Berkman.
Hot smash right at Lyle Overbay. Great first baseman fielding. Yes, and I think this is just completely reactionary. Short hop, gets in front of it enough. Bad luck for Lance Berkman. Hit it right on the screws. Staying back. This is a fastball, middle of the plate. Good play. Yeah, I think so. And we talked about A.J. Burnett, you know, in the first game of this series about, you know, eventually when do you start learning or get it? And, you know, sometimes you don't. There's some guys that just can't ever get the feel, especially for the power on this. And Phil Hughes is one of those special arms, as well as A.J. And I just thought what helped me as I got into my later 30s is that I needed it out of necessity. So it became part of my repertoire. Because, you know, I wouldn't get out of the third or fourth inning. And I'm not saying I threw 25 a game, but enough to let hitters think that, you know what, this is not just an occasional, you know, 2 pitches, 3 pitches a game. You're going to use it.
We have seen it being taken out of an arsenal. Andy Pettitte came up, and he was a great changeup pitcher. developed the cutter, and he lost the change. Mariano, people forget when he came up out of the minor leagues, he was a straight fastball changeup pitcher. Developed the cutter, lost the change. Now he doesn't really need the change, but it's just proof positive. It's hard to throw both with top efficacy. It just is. The 1-2.
Well, I to validate your point, when the Mets had signed Tom Glavine, I thought, wow, this is great. I have the four-seamer, I have the cutter. Now Tommy Glavine made a career of two-seam changeup. And boy, if I get that, wow, it's going to be great. And it's not easy because of what you're used to and what your hand, the muscle memory of it. I think what Andy's done so well this year is that you could also use a breaking ball as your off-speed pitch.
Right.
And Andy's that backdoor big slow curveball. Change speeds on your fastball. Could it eventually be like your changeup?
Strike three, Granderson down looking. So Markham works a 1-2-3 inning thanks to some pretty good defense by Hill and Overbay. This one was all him as he catches Granderson looking. We'll go to the seventh. Yankees up by 4. Is brought to you in part by J&R Music and Computer World, and by Toyota, the official hybrid vehicle of the New York Yankees. How you doing? On the Verizon Wireless scoreboard, it's 5-1. Yankees over the Blue Jays. Jack Williams, our high home camera guy, it's his birthday today. He was out in the sun, Jack was, in Tampa for 4 hours. We didn't think he'd make it to his birthday today. But
nice
now
tan,
he's developed
Jack.
the beautiful bronze tan.
Happy birthday.
Jack's 81 years old. He doesn't even look it. Happy birthday to Jack. He's one of the best and a great guy as well. Here's Jabba Chamberlain coming on. And the Yankees are leading 5-1. Jabba has pitched better of late. That'll face 8-9-1 in the Blue Jays order, starting with Edwin Encarnacion. Right back to Jabba. One pitch and one out.
Good outing in Tampa. He's getting the strikeouts. His last outing Friday night, 2 strikeouts.
Hey, yes, we will. All you have to do, here's the deal, everybody. If you have a sign with my name on it, you're going to get on yes. Because I will bribe people to get you on. That's all. So let's see the stadium filled on Friday with my name. We'll get your picture on. That's fair.
He's not kidding.
No, I'm dead serious.
Binoculars, looking around for those signs.
Really, I will get you guys on. So big Michael K signs all year, guaranteed TV. The 0-1. Hot shot up the middle. Grabbed there by Cano. Off balance throw. But it pulls Teixeira off the bag. Cano showing great range up the middle. He grabs the ball, but he could not make the play on McDonald.
And how often do you see, just to get to this ball, it's almost over second base, and this ball was hit pretty hard. Great effort. But just right over the mound. Anytime it goes directly over the center of the mound, that's usually a base hit up the middle. Playing slightly up the middle, Cano was. Good effort. This little underhand flick throw that he does so often.
And that one is a line drive right, and Jeter fires to first, but McDonald gets back.
Well, they're swinging. 3 pitches, 2 outs. A little single up the middle. Immediately, the awareness of Derek Jeter seeing how far off McDonald was, making it a close play.
Here's Aaron Hill. There's a weak hack at that power slider, and the count 0-1.
That arm slot and location unhittable. And I said Aaron Hill, over 33% of his swing and misses have been balls that have been out of the strike zone.
No, we had Tino on the games in Tampa. Alan, he said that he would like to see Jabba throw that slider for a strike. He said he always throws that slider low and away outside. He said throw it for a strike, it'd be more effective.
No question about it. I mean, the same thing, we could say that about A.J. Burnett and anybody who has a special arm, that 90, mid-90s or even better when Jabba's on. Guys eliminate it. If they know that you're not going to throw for a strike, or what Tino's probably saying also is that it's a put-away pitch.
Right.
In a 1-2-0-2 count, that nasty in the dirt, Posada, shuffling outside corner, it gets a half swing or swing and miss. The more doubt a pitcher can put in a hitter's mind that is he going to throw a breaking ball? Do I have to respect it? Does he throw it for called strikes, not swinging strikes?
Foul back. And maybe throw it earlier in the count, drop it in there for a strike so they think about it.
There's a perfect example of what Tino was talking about and what you brought up there. He first pitch, slider off the plate. And now here, 2-1 count. Normally a guy throwing 95 or better, as Java does at times, throws a 2-1 slider. That was really middle of the plate, but because of Aaron Hill has to respect Java's velocity, he's looking fastball, especially in a 2-0, 2-1, 3-1 count.
The 2-2. Wow, 98. Jacked it up to 98 on that pitch. The last 3 games, 3 2/3, didn't allow a run. The previous 5, he struggled and kind of lost the 8th inning job. And they're trying to work him back into that role because the arm says, hey, he can close. So he should be able to pitch the 8th. Runner goes, 3-2. And there's the slider, and then it's popped up. Teixeira in foul territory will make the play, and that's Java's 4th straight scoreless appearance, and he has a 10-pitch inning. In the 7th, no runs, a hit, no errors, and 1 man left at the end of 6 1/2. It's time for the 7th inning stretch. Yankees leading the Blue Jays 5-1, but we're going to stay right here, and we'll honor America in the Bronx.
As we remember the servicemen and women who are serving our country at home and around the globe. Thank you. Now Kate Smith's rendition of God Bless America.
God bless America, land that I love. Stand beside her and guide her through the night with a light from above, from the mountains to the prairies, to the ocean
organist Paul Cartier plays Take Me Out to the Ball Game.
Thank you, Nancy. We'll hear from Nancy on the postgame along with Jack Curry. Verizon Wireless scoreboard 5-1 Yankees over the Blue Jays. Al, we keep waiting for the Reds to disappear. I guess they're not going away.
No, I think there's a couple surprise teams, and I think the Reds, especially the way that the Central has played out, the Cardinals certainly haven't run away with it. The Cubs have been a disappointment. Still waiting for Aroldis Chapman to eventually show up at the Major League level.
See, Sean Camp is the new Blue Jays pitcher, taking over for Sean Markham. And he's going to face Brett Gardner here leading off the bottom of the seventh. I think he's up 5-1. And a strike. If you're going to use many relievers today, it's the day to do it because you have a day off if you're the Yankees tomorrow. So they might have Jabba maybe pitch one more inning, although David Robertson is warming up. And there's Robertson. Strike and the count 1-2.
Yeah, for Friday's game, Mitre, Robertson, Logan, and Jabba. Yesterday, really, between Kerry Wood and Mitre coming in. So the well-rested arms down there, probably Mitre would not be available.
Tap slowly to short. McDonald gets rid of it quickly because he knows who's running. And there's one away. Speaking of McDonald, the Yankees in-game box score is brought to you by McDonald's. The Yankees have 8 hits, 3 by Derek Jeter, including a bunt. Mark Teixeira 2 for 3, 3 ribbies. Alex Rodriguez, yes, today it finally happened. First inning, 2-run home run, his 600th home run of his career. Granderson with a hit and Gardner with a double and a run scored. And that's the Yankees in-game box score.
Jeter peeking down the third baseline, dropped the bunt in his previous at bat, helping Gardner to get the third base, got a base hit out of it. And Encarnacion saying, "Okay, go ahead, 5-1. You want a bunt?"
Jeter with 3 hits. It's his 9th 3-hit game of the year. And now he has a 4-hit game. The patented inside-out Jeterian swing. Bautista fields and gets it into second, but it's a double for Jeter. 4 for 4.
What a day for Derek Jeter. Now this is the swing inside out. Back elbow pulls in. Look at the head down on the baseball. This ball middle away down in the zone. How often has Derek Jeter made this swing? A hit, single, double down the left field, right field line. What's this? What's so impressive? This is his approach. Pull the hands in, bat lag down, outer third. Beautiful swing.
And that's Jeter's first 4-hit game of this season. And here's Nick Swisher, who's 0 for 2 with a walk. So Derek's single, double, bunt, double. A bunt single. Ground ball to first, and Overbay flips the camp for the second out as Jeter moves to third. So Nick Swisher is 0 for 3 with a walk today, and that's going to bring up Mark Teixeira. Boy, Teixeira's numbers in the middle of May, you just didn't think they were going to get up to the back of his baseball card. Well, they're going to get there, Al. He's going to have over 100 ribbies. He's going to have about 30 home runs. And the only question, will he get his average up to about 290 where it's accustomed to being?
That's where you really just have to, and I know you make reference to the back of the baseball card. You have to believe the talent of your player. Yeah, once in a while you'll have a guy that just has an off year. As maybe some people have thought that, okay, maybe this is an off year for Teixeira, but I mean, that's mental toughness. To be able to stay in that, answer the questions, what's wrong, this isn't just a bad April anymore, and for him to keep fighting his way through it. That's mentally tough. Not throwing things and yelling and screaming.
And the count 1-2.
Teixeira career high 144 RBIs with Texas in 2005.
As late as June 6th, Teixeira's average was 211. 258 right now. Pumped it up 47 points. Pitch outside.
Man, he's a 290 Major League hitter. So, to your point, watch till end of the year as to where your players end up.
And he walks Teixeira and now has to deal with Alex Rodriguez. A moment of relief for Alex Rodriguez in the first inning when he hits his 600th home run. And one of the Yankee owners, Hal Steinbrenner, has released this statement regarding Alex's 600th home run. Congratulations to Alex on this great achievement and on adding another highlight to Yankees history. We are especially proud he accomplished this feat as a Yankee and here before the most loyal fans in baseball. He did that in the first inning. And the pitch is outside, 1-0. It's amazing, though. 3 years to the day on a Saturday when he hit the 500th home run against the Kansas City Royals at Yankee Stadium across the street. 3 years to the day. It's weird because it seemed the fait accompli that Alex would be the all-time home run leader in baseball history when it was all said and done, but has he now become a 30 home run hitter rather than a 40 or a 50 home run hitter? If he's a 30 home run hitter a year, that's going to be a tougher climb. Hot shot. Oh, what a play by Camp. He took a base hit and an RBI away from Alex. The Yankees are kept off the board here in the seventh. No runs a hit, no errors. 2 men left on base. Reaction play by Camp. We go to the 8th. .600th home run. Let's take a look at his milestones. Number 1 and number 100, those were with Seattle. Number 1 was off Tom Gordon. Then 200 and 300, those were with Texas. John Garland and Ramon Ortiz, the victims. 400, 500, 600, while with the Yankees, De La Rosa, Davies, and now Markham, they go down alongside Alex Rodriguez's name in history. So, Alex tried for 46 at-bats, and number 47 was the payoff, a home run to center field into the netting above Monument Park. And it also put the Yankees in a lead, which they have yet to relinquish. David Robertson now comes out of the bullpen. Swing and a miss, Bautista.
Bautista's seen all but 3 fastballs today. Everything has been either the curveball or the slider. And the fastball, and standing him up inside. Small, slow stuff down and away.
Robertson's last 11 appearances have been scoreless, 11 1/3, 17 strikeouts. Now, we told you all the 6 pitchers that are alongside the name of Alex Rodriguez for milestone home runs. Al, you are not on his list.
Not much of a body of
8
work
at bats, just 1 hit, and he never hit a home run off you. I guess you face him in interleague play?
I remember with Seattle when I was at Toronto, and then, yeah, I think some interleague stuff. Texas.
And that one got a piece of Posada. Now, earlier, we saw John Buck get taken out of the game in Arod foul ball, and he had a right thumb laceration. That's why he came out. And that one hit Posada on the left shoulder, a little below. No, that's the right shoulder. I'm sorry.
Gosh, they have a little chest protector. Boy, that's got to hurt.
That happened on the first play of the game, I think.
Yes. Hit him on the shoulder. At least there's some protection to lighten the blow, but that's just straight getting punched in the chest real hard.
This was the first pitch of the game. Got him on the left shoulder, so now he's got twin bruises.
In a tough position.
Probably thinking I should have stayed as a second baseman. Joe Girardi, he played behind there, so he knows the pain. High fly ball, left field, but out of play. Bautista 2 for 3 today. He is really having his career season, leading the majors with 33 home runs in a season where that seems like a boatload of home runs. 3-2. Check swing. Did he go? No, he did not, said Andy Fletcher. So a leadoff walk of Bautista. Let's take a look at the Blue Jays in-game box score, which is brought to you by McDonald's. The Blue Jays have just 5 hits, 2 by Bautista, and then at the bottom of the order, a double by Overbay to drive in the Blue Jays' only run. That came in the 4th inning. Then Encarnacion and McDonald chipped in singles. There's Vernon Wells. Vernon is 0 for 2. He struck out and flied out to center twice. Driven out to right center field. Giving chase is Granderson, and he'll make the play for the first out. Well, today and throughout the Yankee season on Yes, we are asking you to vote along with us for the Chevy Play of the Game. Text your vote to 58772, or you can vote online at yesnetwork.com. Today's candidates are number 1, Phil Hughes, number 2, Mark Teixeira, number 3, Alex Rodriguez, number 4, Derek Jeter. Vote now and make your voice heard. Standard text messaging rates apply.
It's going to be a tough one, huh?
Got Jeter with 4 hits. Teixeira with 3 ribbies. Alex with his 600th home run. Hughes will probably get the win. I'm glad that these calls are not my responsibility. Lind is 0 for 1 with a walk, and he was hit by a pitch.
Good to see David Robertson settle it down and for a season. Good stuff. Great curveball. Good fastball.
Weak hack right there.
That's a very good, just a 12-6 tight spinning curveball. Tough for any hitter to lay off. Watch this 12-6 on a clock. If you 12 down, straight down. Good pitch.
The curveball you don't want is the 2 to 8. It's kind of hanging, right?
Slurvy.
Yeah.
Overthrew that one there. Yeah, you want, for as much as if you can get one that goes straight down, as opposed to in this case what you just said, that'll cut across. As long as there's tilt and there's downward movement to a breaking ball, it's effective. But ideally, you try to get to that 12-6 on the hands of the clock. Boom.
And he is down looking for the 2nd out of the inning.
Boy, that's perfect paint fastball. Watch Jorge Posada's glove. Doesn't have to move it. Beautiful location. A lot of curveballs. Adam Lind looking for something slower. Doesn't get any better than that if you're David Robertson.
And here is Jose Molina. Came up in the 6th inning and struck out. Pitch outside, 1-0. Robertson has now recorded at least 1 strikeout in 18 of his last 21 appearances. Averages over a strikeout an inning. Electric stuff for this young man. Started off slowly, but has been pitching much, much better. Had an ERA in the 8s. It's down to 4.23.
Yeah, and for a reliever, that there you see the April and May, that ERA of 7.31. Doesn't take much for an ERA to get that high. Obviously, you don't get as many innings. It takes a long time to work it down, and he certainly has 2.08 the last 21 games.
I thought it was in the 8s, so I was wrong. So it's in the 7s. Like the crowd, 47,659 today. fouled away.
Is that a sellout? The 47, Mike?
You know what? I don't know.
Like pretty much every seat was taken.
Sometimes 47 pluses, they announce it as a sellout. Sometimes it's not. I don't know. I wish I knew. Sometimes 48 is.
It's a lot of people.
It's close. Can we say that? The 2-2. Swing and a miss. He struck him out. So the leadoff walk, a bounce back by Robertson. The Blue Jays lead one. We go to the bottom of the 8th. It's 5-1 Yankees. Name is why get a car when you can own a Land Rover? I wonder which one it is.
Yeah, is it the guy, Alex Rodriguez? 600th of his career, the youngest to do that in Major League Baseball, 35 years old, 8 days. Made the score 2-0, but that was the least of this moment. Certainly a big moment for Alex Rodriguez and the Yankees. A Land Rover drive of the game, Alex Rodriguez.
Alex now has that off his mind, and the Blue Jays have a new pitcher, Casey Jansen, here in the bottom of the 8th. And the pitch outside to Cano, 1-0. Casey's numbers, a hit per inning, about a strikeout per inning. Good numbers, but a high ERA. 1-1. Cano, 3 ground balls today. 1 to third, 1 to short, and 1 to second, which began a double play. So he's 0 for his last 13. His average at 324. This swing, for some reason, in the last day or so, seems a little bit longer. Rather than quick to the ball, maybe he's getting a little fatigued. Everybody runs into a wall at some point that they play through it. He plays every day for this team. 27 years old, and he should. The 1-2. Count 2-2.
Well, the dog days of August certainly are upon us, and even though 27 years old, Michael, I know the streak of a Cal Ripken breaking Luke Garrett, it's still a grind, and I'm sure Robinson Cano will enjoy his off day tomorrow.
This is the lowest Robinson's batting average has been since May 17th. 324. The 2-2. That tells you what type of year he's having if 324 is the lowest it's been since May 17th. missed outside. The count is full at 3-2.
You mentioned about Robinson Cano, 27 years old. That is the hardest part of a major league player. I mean, there's a lot of facets to the game that makes it a difficult sport to be maintain what you need to do to be a major leaguer. But that every day for 6 months, you get 17 days off during the year.
Let's see if that gets through. No, nice grab there by Hill, but he can't get the throw off. So a base hit for Cano. That breaks his 0 for 13 slide.
Well, he got to the ball and wasn't able to get a handle on it. Let's see. Yeah, just the transfer was not able to get a grip on the baseball from his glove to his throwing hand. You see the little separation, kind of dropped the ball into his hand as opposed to taking the hand into the glove. Robinson will take it.
Well, that's going to bring up Posada. Jorge is 0 for 3. Robbed of a base hit by Hill up the middle in the 6th inning. Really a nice play. Yankees trying to build on this 5-1 lead. Certainly not insurmountable against a explosive Blue Jay offense. That one is blooped to right field. And Bautista will put it away for the first out. Nobody up in the Yankee bullpen. Maybe they'll let Robertson get the final 3 outs. It's not a save situation with a 4-run lead.
Well, Mariano's last appearance was on July 31st in Tampa. Give him a potential 4-day rest. Assuming that a save situation doesn't arise.
Here's Lance Berkman. Lance is 0 for 3. Two hits in his Yankee career. Joined the team Saturday, Tampa Bay. Takes a called first strike. Long run for Encarnacion, but out of play. And now Mariano does get up. Interesting stretching there by Sergio Mitre. And the 0-2. A little bit low.
Well, it looks like Michael, with or without that save situation opportunity, Mariano, I don't believe would be thrown with 1 out here if he wasn't coming in for sure.
Well, they really want to nail this one down. Count 2-2. Mitre is properly stretched out now. The 2-2. Hot shot right at Overbay. It's a double play. So you can't hit it harder than that. But Berkman to Overbay, Overbay to the bag. Double play. We go to the 9th. It's 5-1 Yankees. TV HD Super Shot. It involves Alex Rodriguez's first inning milestone home run.
Well, the IO Super Shot here, foot down, figuring this ball out over the plate. That 2-0 slider, dead center field, tremendous power. Hearty congratulations from Joe Girardi. Well deserved. Big historic moment for Alex Rodriguez and the Yankees.
And everybody heaving a sigh of relief as the Yankees had started to be affected team-wise by the drought. And then the drought turned into a real slump as well. The home run drought turned into a slump. Here's Mariano Rivera. This is not a save situation, but sporting a 0.93 ERA. Over his last 24 appearances since May 25th, 25 and a third innings, 11 hits, 1 run, 3 walks, 25 strikeouts, a 0.36 ERA. And Overbay swings and fouls it off. Good way to go into an off day with a victory. We'll enjoy the off day a little more, and then the Red Sox come into town, but the Yankees are 3 outs away. Count 1-1.
Boy, you don't marvel at Mariano Rivera, but looking at some of these stats that you get. But how about this? Since the beginning of April of 07, Mariano has converted 135 of 142 saves, the best in baseball. 7 blown saves in almost 4 full seasons.
Grounded to second. There's one away. Well, 4 teams or 8 teams made the playoffs last year. 7 of the 8 teams' closers blew saves. The team that won the championship had a closer that did.
So good. Repeating the delivery for so many years. You could look at footage from when Mariano first got called up as a young pitcher to now, and it really hasn't changed. Why he's been so consistent. Very impressive.
Here's Encarnacion. And a strike. Got him. They got Encarnacion as Mo was trying to come inside with the 2-seamer.
Yeah, that's a pitch that Mo doesn't often throw. This ball will end up being a 2-seamer. What Michael says will run in on the righty, just getting his shirt as you just saw there. A loose shirt. I don't even know if it got his skin, but enough certainly to hit him.
There's John McDonald. John 1 for 3 today. Infield single up the middle to Cano. There's a ground ball to third. Let's see if they turn 2. There's one, and Cano drops the ball on the transfer. But the out is recorded at second. Well, stick around for the WB Mason postgame as Nancy Newman and Jack Curry break down this series finale with the Jays and also get the team's reaction from the clubhouse. It's all coming up on the WB Mason postgame. It's only on Yes. And now it's time for Travis Snyder as the Blue Jays are down to their final out. Pitch inside. Pitch inside.
It's a good matchup for Mariano. This is a great cutter in on the hands of a young player who likes to extend his arms.
Mo last pitched on July 31st, so it's been a couple of days. That one fouled off of Posada, and the count 2-1. So the 31st was Saturday night, and he missed the final game of the Tampa series and then the first 2 of this one. And it's only his second appearance since July 26th. That one's right back to Mo. That's it. Ball game's over, and the Yankees win 5-1. And Alex Rodriguez can breathe easier tonight as he knows he has 600 home runs, and no one's taking that away from him as he gets that one in the first inning of this game. Stick around for the post-game show to find out who's today's Chevy Player of the Game. Alex coming into the game 9 for 46, 196 since home run number 599. But on a 2-0 pitch by Sean Markham, he went deep over the wall in center field onto the netting in front of Monument Park, and he joins the 600 home run club, a club that has just 7 members now, and all of those members are pretty big names, bold-faced names in baseball history. More importantly for the Yankees, they break a 3-game losing streak, and now Alex could get back to the business of being Alex Rodriguez, and he gets some congratulations from his teammates and his coaches, and it was something he needed, something that had turned into a slump. And the bottom line is the Yankees win 5-1, and his 2-run home run held up over the course of the game. So 5 runs for the Yankees on 10 hits, and 1 run for the Blue Jays on 5 hits. Phil Hughes gets the win, and Alex Rodriguez finally gets his 600th career home run. It took a while, but he finally got it, and now somebody has Alex, and that's Jack Curry. Jack's in front of the Yankee dugout. Jack?
Hey, Michael, thanks a lot. Alex, 2-0 slider from Markham. How soon after you swing that bat do you know it's gone?
I wasn't sure. It's been a while, but it definitely felt good to get a big home run and help us win.
Obviously, a lot of emotions attached to that at-bat. Could you describe them for us?
Well, yeah. I mean, I just wanted to get a base hit. I talked to a few of my teammates yesterday, and they just wanted me to go out there, relax, and not try to do too much.
So today was the 3rd anniversary of your 500th home run. What is it about you in August 4th?
That's pretty amazing, I'll tell you. And it was a day game, too. I'm just glad we needed a win, and to do it in a winning fashion is the most important part.
It had been 46 at-bats between home runs. How much of that ball going over the wall is exhilaration, and how much is relief?
I think about 50-50. But I'm definitely glad it's over, and I definitely enjoyed that moment. I enjoyed the win, and we got a big series against Boston coming on Friday.
What did you enjoy the most about it?
Well, I think, again, it's just that we won the game. We needed a win today, and we needed to stop the bleeding a little bit, and that's a very good team over there, and gives us some momentum going into Friday.
I know you want to enjoy 600, but you were the youngest to get to 600, so the inevitable question is, how far can you go? How many homers do you think you can hit?
Well, I'm not sure about that, but I just want to thank the fans for being so patient and so great with me. Thank you.
Thanks, Alex. Michael, send it back to you.
Well, thank you very much, Jack, and thank you to Alex, and congratulations to Alex as well as he hits his 600th home run. Everybody's been waiting. They've been waiting for a while. They kept thinking this was the night. This was the night. Was it going to be the night? Well, it was a day, and it was a Wednesday, a matinee day in Yankee Stadium. Alex with 600 today.